In 1993, a Hong Kong horror movie was made based on a true story. So the plot of the movie is based on real story. So it is a real story turned into a film at the Eight Immortals restaurant. So if you can't believe it, you can Google it. It is called 팔선 반점. A total of 10 people went missing. 10 people went missing. The owner of the Chinese restaurant was Huang Zihong. Under police investigation, he ended his own life before even being captured. Maybe he knew what he did. No further details can be provided by Kaheva because, I leave it to your imagination. To make your imagination more easier for your information, dumplings. So dumplings were the main menu of the Eight Immortals restaurant, 팔선반점. Dumplings are a dish made by wrapping the beef, lamb, and vegetable in a flour dough. And when those 10 people went missing, the amount of consumption of pork, the meat pork, drastically dropped. For your information, dumplings are a dish made of beef, lamb, pork, so whatever meat. So dumplings, the restaurant menu, people went suspicious because 10 people went missing and their bodies were not found. I mean, part of their bodies were found. Oh, this is even very, very frightening to say. Oh, maybe I will not talk about this anymore, but it is one of the foods that Chinese people love the most around the world. They are called manti, Turkey and Uzbekistan, manti, Kazakhstan. Also manti, Armenia, mantu, Tajikistan, manta, Uyghur, and mantou, China, and mandu, Korea. On April 3rd, 1991, according to Beijing Reuters, a report stated the following. A Chinese restaurant owner was discovered to have been using, as you imagine, human flesh to make a type of some dim sum, dumpling, served to customers since 1987. He was caught in 1991 and he served it since 1987. So for 4 years, people in that area who visited that restaurant, maybe he also sold it somewhere through some sort of channels. Who knows? So even Koreans were very afraid of eating dumplings at the time in the late 1990s and early 2000s. People didn't really love to eat dumpling at the time. So nowadays, if you are interested in traveling to Korea, maybe you know some of the very famous dumpling mandu restaurants in Korea. But I should tell you this, that dumpling is not actually a very, very popular Korean traditional food. Rather eat bulgogi or something. I'm not the type of person when foreigner ask me to what do you recommend to eat in Korea? And I'm not the person who tells you just soullessly go with bulgogi or something. That sounds so not soulful, right? But if you're going to eat dumpling or something, better eat bulgogi instead. Okay? Because I'll tell you the reason now. The report was published in March 23, 1991 edition for the Hainan Special Economic Zone newspaper of China. The restaurant owner, Wang Guang, obtained the human flesh from his brother who worked as a crematorium employee. The owner of the Chinese restaurant, he confessed that the customers might grasp that something is different about the taste, so he confessed to the police that he used a large amount of seasoning. Oh no. The word mantou literally means barbarian's head. Literally, mantu. Du means head. Man is barbaric. Barbarian's head. Mantou. Hello everyone, this is Kaheva, all knowledge of the world, head, heart, and soul. So I think I didn't say this greeting for my last couple of videos, so yeah. When visiting Korea or China, one of the foods that Westerners often try is dumplings. However, dumplings are not originally Korean food. And I asked my father about when did he first try dumplings in his life, and he said that he had never eaten dumpling before going to middle school. He also mentioned that dumpling were a food eaten by people in northern regions, so Korea, and we are in South Korea, northern region. So dumpling may be favorite of the North Korean people more compared to South Koreans. So for us, for South Koreans, we don't really go to a dumpling restaurant. Dumpling is type of a thing that you go to a restaurant where they sell some kind of kalguksu. That is a noodle, Korean noodle with some thick noodles. And dumpling comes as some side dish. And if you go to a Chinese restaurant in Korea, so there's a Korean style Chinese restaurant. We call it 중국집 in Korea. If you go there, you order dumpling as a side dish. It is about $7, and they will give you about 12 dumplings, fried dumplings. Dumplings is that type of food you choose as a side dish. You don't really try to go to a dumpling place. I haven't seen a Korean who goes to a dumpling place. There's a frightening story. I think it's also because there's a frightening story passed down in Korea. It's about the rumor, but maybe it's not just a rumor because it truly affected the lives of Korean people, even though it happened not in Korea. That Chinese restaurants served human flesh is about this rumor. And the advice is simple. So maybe I think you are getting very anxious about the like how should I then trust any food in Korea or China or any country. The advice is simple. If you are unsure or if you don't trust the source, don't eat dumplings. There are so many other various type of Korean food that is so much more delicious than dumplings. Why would you eat dumpling in Korea? It is not even Korean food. The reason, I'm going to be very straightforward, because of human flesh. Before the Cultural Revolution, many people in China consumed human flesh. And I'm not joking about it. I'm not really downstating about Chinese people. That is a written historical fact. China had a long-standing custom of cannibalism, human flesh consumption that existed since ancient times. However, it was completely banned after the end of the Cultural Revolution in 1976. This wasn't just the act of a few unique individuals, but it was a cultural practice before it was actually banned legally. For reference, there was a period of civil war in China called the Warring States period, 춘추 전국 시대 in China. This period was before the birth of Jesus, or as we say, BC 700, before Christ came to earth, around 700 years before Jesus came to earth. And FYI, the Warring States period, that was a total chaotic period of time, lasted for 400 years. When wars broke out, farmland are devastated and food becomes scarce. So during this era, the price of human flesh was lower than that of pork. And you were like, what? And yes, what? That is how I reacted when I first heard about this. This was an era of chaos, a battle royal era, and a time of hell. The king who ended this era of war and unified China was Jin Shi Huang. So now he is the man, Jin Shi Huang, who unified China after that crazy period of time. From that time on, the world then began calling the country China. Have you ever seen the video? It was published by Huffington Post, maybe Huffington Post. It was a video about Trump. Trump
You
saying
go over to
China,
China,
for about
China.
it was about a 3 minutes video. Trump saying China, and that video I like.
I have to have my China.
I like the video because it's very, very just fun to watch. It makes you laugh. You can watch. You can maybe type in YouTube. Trump says China. It is, yeah, I think it was by Huffington Post, and the comment section is a treasure. You should watch it maybe.
China.
So China. Okay, China. One of the comments that I really remember that I'm convinced he just says China because he likes the sound of the word China. China, okay, remembering its past history does not want the nation to become a hellish state again. Not again. That is why Xi Jinping is allowed to hold power. So you should understand that even the Chinese people admit and acknowledge and they understand that Xi Jinping must hold power for the sake of China. Furthermore, China will not tolerate any form of disorder under any circumstances. During the 400 years of war in the Warring States period, 춘추 전국시대, hundreds of philosophers, such as the 100 schools of thought, 제자백가, emerged in China. Among them, the most famous figure is Confucius, comparable to Socrates. After the time of Socrates, Confucius, and finally the arrival of Jesus Christ, the age of savagery gradually came to an end. There are even records that Confucius, who created Confucianism, enjoyed salted human flesh. Confucius himself was a person who lived during the Warring States period. He witnessed many people dying by war and saw how farming ceased and how the constant battles ruined people's lives. Naturally, food became scarce. The custom of eating human flesh arose as a survival adaptation to environment. However, Confucius decided to teach the world properly to end this hell. He made a resolution to not eat human flesh dumplings himself. If you don't believe Kaheva, ask an intellectual Chinese person around you. If they are truthful, they will admit. Here's today's conclusion. In times of peace and grace, be grateful to God. Distance yourself from all greed. Value common sense, the little things, and your family. Avoid excessive pleasures because there is no end. Once you start to pursue more and more pleasures, there is no end. So if not, the age of war can always return. This is Kaheva. See you in the next video. God bless you.